YouTube, welcome back. Today on Kung Fu Science, I'm going to be vlogging about my life's philosophy and why I live and do the things that I do in the way that I do them. So, let's get started. So you'll notice that I make these videos about fighting and sparring with Wing Chun and doing things differently than with Wing Chun than what you see regularly amongst people, and that'll just be what I talk about first. So the reason I do things the way that I do them, it's nothing to do with my lineage. I mean, I'm sure my lineage has a little bit to do with it, the open-mindedness of my lineage, but I'll tell you this, the Leung Ting guys, the WT guys, are no different, really, than anybody else in the whole. In the whole. What I mean by that is they are just human beings as well, and they're cocky and they're full of themselves, just like anybody else, you know. But there are individuals in every lineage and association that are open-minded and intelligent and apply things differently and look at things differently and are humble. And I like to think that, you know, I've had good luck, especially here recently in the past couple of years, with finding a good sifu and a good association that really cares about me as an individual. They care about my growth personally as a martial artist and as a teacher. And, you know, the people I was with before, they were good. They were high quality Wing Chun, but they were kind of closed-minded and a little self-centered, like pretty much everybody else in Wing Chun. They were very much like about not sharing their knowledge and not looking into other lineages or other teachers' perspectives. They were just about, you know, doing their own thing. And, you know, that's fine and all, but the people that I'm with now are very much about self-exploration and exploring the system and trying to make things better for ourselves individually and for our students and for the system. You know, try to work together to bring it up, you know, to make it better. And, you know, I'm not saying that it's bad in the first place, but I'm just saying that together we can make it better, you know. And if there's any of you guys out there that do Wing Chun and you want to contact me and see if we can meet up or collaborate or just talk, you know, share knowledge, we can do some video chats, we can talk on the phone, we can do emails, whatever you want to do, just hit me up, contact me, because I'm all about bettering the whole. I'm about bettering myself, my students, and the whole system. And I don't believe really in lineage. I mean, most of us come from Yip Man. Most of us come from Yip Man. I mean, you know, he wasn't the greatest teacher in the world, and he was really old by the time he started teaching, and he didn't really care too much about life at that point because he was, you know, torn up, he was distressed, he was poor, he was sick, you know, he had a lot of things on his plate. So I really doubt that he was really trying very hard to make a whole bunch of quality students. And then he, you know, did us all kind of a disservice in a way by not leaving a successor. So it caused a lot of drama. But it's not always a disservice. It's not necessarily a disservice, because that also means that he didn't believe that there was a successor. He believed that all of his students were his successor. So you can look at it like that too. But, you know, anybody who claims that they know the one true Wing Chun and everybody else's Wing Chun is shitty and they don't know what they're doing and we're the only ones who really know what we're doing. Like, if anybody talks to you like that, you really need to reevaluate, you know, what the hell they're saying. Like, what are you saying right now? Why is your religion better than mine? Why is your thought process better than mine? Why is your Wing Chun better than mine? Like, as long as it works, and as long as you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, then there's no reason that one is better than the other. It really irks me that people sit there and criticize everyone. I mean, I have a couple of people stalking my channel right now that have no videos of their own, and they have these ridiculous ass names that are super immature sounding. Their little YouTube names are like super immature sounding, and yet they spill out this long amount of supposable knowledge about how they know the real Wing Chun and I don't, yet there's no proof that they do. Words are just words, bro. Words are just words. You know, let's see some action. Let's see some legit skill. You know, I respect what you're saying to me. I respect what you're saying, but I don't see anything. So all it is just talk. You know, and I'm posting videos weekly showing that I know what I'm talking about and showing that I'm experimenting with what I'm talking about. And, you know, maybe there's not a whole lot of footage on my channel yet, but you can go to my other channel, Bay Mountain Wing Chun Asheville. I'm not really active on that channel much anymore. It's just kind of a channel where when people go to look up my school here locally and they're trying to find a school, there's some footage on there, you know, so you can go on there and look at me applying things and training with my students and whatnot, but there's not any talking or any explanation. So this channel is my big active one, and this channel is going to be the one where you're going to see the most from me as far as like detailed explanation. And give me some time. There's going to be some videos coming out soon where I'm going to break down in super detail what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. A lot of people say my structure's off and my footwork's off, but like very few of my videos you can even see my feet in. And it's because I've only had me and one student at a time to film, so I don't have someone, you know, scanning the camera, you know, up and down me so you can see everything. You know, I'm working on that. Just give me some time. But so I got a little sidetracked with the subject, but my first subject was why do I want to spar with my Wing Chun, and why do I do the Wing Chun the way I do it? Because I know at this point that if I get into a self-defense scenario, then I'll be just fine, you know. And if I'm not fine, then that was just the way fate was meant to be. But if someone steps up on the street and wants to fight me, I'm going to do everything I can to talk my way out of it. And 99% of the time, I'm able to do that anyway. So there's that. But then, you know, if they do step, I'm going to obliterate them because, for one, they're not going to know I do martial arts. And if they do know I do martial arts, it's because they'll see it on my t-shirt, because I wear my t-shirt out a lot, and they most likely won't want to mess with me anyway. Right? So people don't pick a fight with martial artists unless they're also a martial artist. And when they do that, then it's usually in the ring or a sparring match. So that moves on to the next part. I believe that Wing Chun should be able to spar. I believe that no matter what martial art you decide to do, you should be able to spar. You really need to. I mean, unless you want to do it just for self-defense, and if that fulfills you, then do that. That's fine. If that fulfills you, then that's fine. And, you know, for a while there, it did fulfill me. But I got to the point where I wanted to go outside of what I was doing, and I want to meet up with other martial artists, and I want to spar, and I want to test my knowledge. And whenever I first started doing that, I was using Wing Chun's regular MO of just rush and destroy, and I did that, and I would say pretty much the first 3 or 4 times I did it with different people, I won, but it would piss them off because it was so crowding and so destructive and so invasive that it kind of made me look like a dick. And, you know, that's just the way it was. And so, a few times later, I ran into a guy who had some good footwork, and we had a very wide open space, and I wasn't able to chase him to the corner where he couldn't get away, and he was tagging me with stuff from a longer distance, and I still won the fight. I still won the match, still won the spar or whatever, but I ended up with a busted eyebrow, blood running down my face. He ended up with blood all over his face, and it was just far too violent for our own good. And I ended up having nerve damage in the corner of my eye over here, where I see little flashy lights every once in a while in the corner of my eye for almost a year. Right? And every once in a while, even now I'll see it, but it's only every once in a while at this point. So, the point is, I wanted to learn to move more and to be able to spar without killing my partner, and to be able to spar without having to use the rush only, you know. And so I'm experimenting with the magnetic zone and getting in and out of it, and I understand the concept where, if two magnets get closer to each other, then eventually the one magnet that's sitting still will attack the one and attach to it the one that's moving. And that's Wing Chun's MO, right? That's its number one thing. But what I will start experimenting with is when that happens, rush in, take a few hits, or give a few hits, and then get out of it. And then keep baiting them into it, rather than just doing it the one time and punching the shit out of them a million times, taking them down, beating the hell out of them, and then that being it. So the reason I want to spar with Wing Chun is because I want to better myself. I want to be able to do my kung fu without destroying my partners and without it having to be a street fight. Is that really too much to ask? I mean, honestly, is that really too much to ask? So, if you're a Wing Chun guy, do you spar? Do you have footage of you sparring? Would you like to meet up, train? Would you like to trade knowledge? Please let me know in the comments below. Alright, so next part, just going to talk a little bit about my life's philosophy. I believe that life is short. Life is the blink of an eye. I'm only 27. I've got a 2-year-old kid, and I feel like 10 days ago I was a little kid myself. I remember I have all these flashbacks and memories of being a child, and time just slipping away. It just keeps on moving so fast, and the older you get, the faster it goes. It's scientifically proven. The way we see life is in numbers and in linear lines, and that's the way we perceive time. And so, that being said, if you have only been on this earth for 3 years, then every moment is compared to what you've seen so far. And the more years you spend here, the smaller the fractions get, the smaller the numbers become, right? So 3 years, that's your whole life so far, and so compared to the whole, one day, a few hours, is a lot longer than when you've been here for 27 years. And it's just going to keep going that way. The fractions are just going to keep getting smaller and smaller. So, that being said, I believe you got to do what you want to do, and you need to get it done. You need to start doing it, because it only gets faster. And then the next thing you know, you're an old person, and it's time to review. Have I done what I wanted to do, or did I waste my time? And so this is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. This is why I'm teaching martial arts already. This is why I'm making this YouTube channel. This is why I married my high school sweetheart. My wife and I have been together for like 8 years now. This is why I don't believe in wasting time. And of course I'm lazy like any other human being. I'm selfish like any other human being. I've wasted time already. I waste time every day. But the goal is to get better and better at not wasting my time. And like I said, that's another reason why I'm doing this YouTube channel. Because working a job, doing things I don't enjoy, doing things that don't reward me except with money, just to pay for things I don't really need, or just to pay for bills, it just doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't seem rewarding, and it feels like a waste of time. That being said, I do have a job. I do work a day job. I work for a mental health department where I provide services for adults with mental disabilities. And it's a rather rewarding job. I'm really actually helping people, and the guys that I work with are really grateful to have me, and so I'm not wasting too much time with that job. But what I really want to do, and what I really am trying to do, is martial arts only. All things martial arts. I've got the school. I've got a few students. I'm working to get more all the time. I've got this channel, and I'm putting work into it. I also do cosplay. I make costumes, and they're doing pretty good. I have a shop online where I sell those and make custom designs for people. So really, I'm just trying to put the work and the time and the energy into things that I enjoy doing. People like Bruce Lee and Conor McGregor and people like that have come to this world to prove to us that you can do exactly what you want to do. If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, then it will create that law of attraction. And after that, all you have to do is believe in yourself, believe in what you say, put in the work, and it will come true. And, if you believe that the universe is nothing but chaos, all you have to do is zoom out a little further, and you see that all the planets and all the stars and all the things in the solar system are all working together. They're bouncing off of each other with gravity, and if you zoom in far enough, you see the same thing. The molecules and the particles, and they're all working together. The atoms, they're all working together. So, if you're in your life and all you see is chaos, zoom out a little or zoom in a little. Change your perspective, and you will see that it all is part of the process. It's all part of the plan. And if you can just keep that in mind and stay strong and believe what you want is a reality, then it will become a reality. But you can't just sit around thinking about it all the time. Thought starts it, speaking it makes it known, and then putting in the work makes it grow. Right? So if you plant a seed in the ground, it's not going to do the work by itself. And it's also not going to grow right away. You have to plant the seed, you have to fertilize it, you have to baby it and take care of it. And it will grow down the road. And not all seeds fertilize, not all seeds grow, but you can plant more than one, and you can put in the work, and it'll do what it needs to do. But you also have to do what you need to do. So I talk about the law of attraction, and my house, my life, and everything around me is proof of that. All the good things and all the bad things. I haven't been the best person my whole life. I've been on my own a lot since I was younger. I didn't have the greatest relationship with my parents. They didn't have the greatest relationship with each other. They had me at a very young age, far younger than I had my child. They were in their teens, and they were just discovering like drugs and alcohol, when they had me. They weren't ready to be parents, so they weren't ready to be parents. They weren't around. And they were off doing their own thing a lot when they were younger and when I was younger. And so it caused me to be, hateful towards myself and towards others because I got the short end of the stick, I thought, and so I was going down a dark path for a long time, a very selfish and angry path. But, come to find out later on that those things that happened to me as a child, those dark things, made me stronger. They helped me to have the capacity to understand why life is hard, to understand why you have to put in the work. And really, if I was born with fortune and born with an easy life, I would probably be a spoiled asshole right now, but luckily this hard life has made me stronger, has made me grateful for the little things, and I'm still not that grateful all the time. I have to remind myself often, look around, look at what you have, look at the life you have, look at every little thing that you've gotten so far. You wake up every morning with breath in your lungs. You gotta be grateful. You gotta be grateful for the little things. And if you fill your heart with gratitude and your mind with gratitude, the universe will give you more things to be grateful for. But if you fill your heart with angst and anger and selfishness, then the universe will only provide more things like that. The universe listens all the time, but it listens very literally. So if you get your mindset and I want, then the universe is like, man, this guy really likes to want. So let's keep taking from him so he keeps wanting, because that's what he wants, obviously. He likes wanting. But if you have the mindset of I have, and man, I am grateful for what I have, the universe is like, man, this guy likes to be grateful. Let's keep giving him things that make him grateful. And it's simple as that. I mean, try it out, and look around at what the things, like, look around at the things you have. And look at your body and say, man, I've got 2 legs. I've got 2 arms. I can look around. My heart beats. My lungs breathe air. God, I'm grateful. Some people aren't. Some people don't have those things. Some people have to get heart transplants, and some people will get their limbs chopped off, and some people are born without them. And, if you're someone like that and you've had, bad luck like that, I'm really sorry. And I feel for you. And stay strong, because we're all in this together. And there are so many people out there that have it worse than we do. No matter what your situation is, there are people that have it worse. So, gratitude is the best attitude. 8 years ago or something like that, I was on my own. I had an apartment, and I had some roommates, and I had a girlfriend at the time, a different girlfriend than who I'm married to now. And we were struggling, and we believed in the chaos, and we could only see the bad corruption in the world, and we could only see the shitty shit that was going on, and life was just getting worse and worse, and all my roommates left me. I was robbed. My girlfriend left me. She cheated on me. She thought that I was cheating on her, but she was the one doing the sneaking around, and just bad things. And it put me in a downward spiral, and I was doing a lot of bad things, and I'm not gonna really get into that, but I wasn't doing the very best with my life, and it all fell out from under me. But then things started to turn around, because I started to change my mindset, and only a few years later, where I'm at now, I have my own martial arts school. I'm part of one of the greatest associations in the United States. I have an amazing Sifu. I have an amazing wife. I have an awesome 2-year-old daughter. I own my own home. My wife and I own our own cars. Just changing your mindset and putting in the work can really change things. It can really change your life. So, take a look around and look at what you have, and be grateful for what you have, because life is short. Life is so short. The only time is now. Yesterday is a dream. Tomorrow, we don't know. All we have is right now. So if you got dreams, don't let them be dreams. Take steps to make them a reality. So again, I'm eternally grateful for all of you. The good, the bad, the ugly, the comments, the criticism, the feedback. I appreciate it all. I'm grateful that this channel is taken off, and I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for watching Kung Fu Science. What's in your Kung Fu?